Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to the Fernleaf Islands. In the last episode, Wink and a few of our other creatures went on a journey to try to find a legendary fruit to heal Tidepool of his wounds, and thankfully they did manage to come across it, but of course it is right in the middle of the jungle biome. So the good news is that Tidepool will definitely be healed. On his very last day of life, he can stumble over here and munch on this fruit, and all of the injuries that he suffered on our previous island will go away, so he could actually make his way back to the tribe most likely, as long as they don't run into any other dangers here, because the fruits are also dangerously close to these big trees, which I believe are actually the ape spawn points, so this is going to be a little bit dangerous for them to scoot over here and try to collect those. I mean, just the fact that we have to bring all of our sick and injured creatures into the jungle is a little bit concerning, but that seems like that is the only place where we're going to find these special fruits, so we're going to have to make do with what we have at this point. We are also going to try to make a pathway around this carnivorous plant. Right now, it is looking for something to eat. At least that's what it seems like, because it is red, just like the carnivore that we have over here, so I'm assuming that if we get too close, it is probably going to snack on some of our creatures. So we're going to try to make sure that our pathways go around the plant so we don't have to worry about that in the future. But of course, we have yet another one of those carnivores lurking in the grass. Luna has already swiped at it once, so hopefully she'll be able to take care of it on the next turn when she has a little bit more energy. We moved her into the grass so that she will hopefully not fall victim to the carnivore herself. I'm hoping that she's far enough away that it won't be able to swipe at her, but we're just going to have to wait and see, I suppose. Sandstorm did his best to make sure that she could get away properly, but as long as we have some of the other packmates also watching out for her, we should be okay. Of course, we have her mate over here, Nightshade, who is very, very concerned, and he should be able to swoop in if things get too rough. And for that matter, I'm sure her babies are also watching very closely as well. They are going to be the next line of warriors after all, so this is pretty good experience for them to watch at the very least. We have Cosmo over here with his beautiful yellow eyes, who I feel like would definitely try to get a little bit closer, even though that's probably not the best idea, and for that matter so would Comet, so he can kind of sneak around here, scoot up just a little bit closer as long as it's not too close. Yeah, the carnivore is right there, so he's not going to be completely oblivious and wander straight into the jaws of a carnivore. He's just going to sneak around the area to try to get a little bit of a better view. Did I see something move over here though? Is that a little crabbit? I think that is. I'm pretty sure that's a crabbit down there. You can only see it when we're in our special senses, but I'm pretty sure we just have a little crabbit kind of scooting around all of these trees as well. Now we do have quite a few of those ape trees on this side as well, so again we'll have to make sure that Comet did not place himself in a particularly bad location. But Nuvanu is keeping watch. He has kind of become like the guardian of these children while their parents are away, so hopefully he'll be able to at the very least make sure that they're all safe. We can have Nightshade go ahead and pick some of the berries over here, though I want him to stay very close by his mate, so why don't we actually scoot him a little bit closer as well? We could maybe scoot him right up behind this rock. Oh, there we go, we have another berry bush over here too, so why don't you, Anair, come over here to peek at the berry bush, just so that we know that it's there, and just so that you can also meet your newest little sibling, Nuvan. They both have those gorgeous crowns of ram horns, so I am very, very pleased that that's sticking in our pack, and I'm sure, oh my goodness, I'm sure that Animeme has something to do with that. Where did you even come from, little bunny? Really? Can any of these creatures actually attack you? I'm not sure if they can, because everyone has the lean body over here, except of course for Snakeweed, but because she has the toxic body, that doesn't even give her any sort of boost in strength. I suppose we could maybe have Tsunami go over there, but she only has one turn anyway, so I think this bunny has literally picked the very best location for him to steal our berries. I think the only one who could possibly grab him is Nuvanu, but even he doesn't have enough energy at this point. Oh my goodness, you are going to steal up all of our berries, aren't you? Well, Wisp, I guess you're going to have to try your best to collect as many as possible, just so that this bunny will leave us alone. My goodness, you came swooping in here as soon as you saw saw that we didn't have anyone to attack you. So I guess that's good to know, because if none of these creatures can actually attack, then if we have any predators roll out of the grass, we will be in a very bad position. For now though, we can scoop up some of this nesting material because we're not going to be using it right now anyway, so little Dot can go ahead and destroy this nest and play with this bunny friend apparently. I suppose that's all that it's going to be. We have a little bunny friend over here. Now I thought I cleared out the bunny burrow on this side, but apparently I did not. So maybe we should actually have Snakeweed scoot down here and pick up this grass. There we go, just so that we can actually see that bunny burrow, and then she can come right back up here and settle herself down by all of the babies again. Now the bunny is definitely on the move. It might be going toward you actually, Wolfsbane, so why don't you go ahead and scoop up your berries as well? As many as you possibly can, and I think he actually got them all, so there we go. We are definitely doing a little bit better collecting our food now. The bunny is still in this location though, and we still have a bunny way over here as well? Really? This little guy hasn't moved yet? Okay, we might want to investigate that. Maybe the bunny is stuck somewhere, or maybe there's like tons and tons of berry bushes over there and we don't even know it. Let's move Wisp out of the nest so that her son can grow. We can scoot her right over here, and then I think we could actually have Anara have one more baby with Sandstorm before she passes away. She only has 1 day left on her lifespan, so this is her very final day, but if we move her over here to breed with Sandstorm, then she could actually drop another nest right next to her previous one, and she should be able to have just one more baby before she passes. Now Sandstorm, you're going to want to come over here to, of course, protect all of your babies, and we'll have them pick up some of those berries as well. And then I think that is all of the turns that we can make, unless we move Storm a little bit closer to the shore. Maybe he could actually keep Wolfsbane company while Tsunami is still growing in the nest. So let's move him a little bit closer, and a little bit closer to that bunny too. Hello, little guy. We still are not going to be able to actually attack you, are we? The Cracker Jaw doesn't give them any stat and strength, does it? Yeah, just the cracking and the smelling. So that's a little bit unfortunate. You can't even grab it up with your big Cracker Jaw. But at the very least, we are going to try to find those shells. Yeah, I'm really starting to think that there might not actually be any shells on this island. Oh, wait a second. They're way down here. Okay. Well, that's a little bit concerning because I'm wondering if maybe this layer is going to be too deep for creatures without water breathing skills. I'm not sure. We could possibly test it out with one of our creatures here though. We're definitely going to wait until they're fully grown to do so, but for now I think that is all that we can possibly do, so let's go ahead and skip the turn. We're going to have to keep a very close eye on the carnivore, of course, but also on our creatures in the jungle because we don't want them getting attacked either. So let's see. Oh no, he managed to get to Luna. Oh, we are definitely going to have to heal you too. Thankfully, we do have a second healing fruit back there, but you are going to have to hightail it over there as soon as you are done defeating this carnivore. So 2 turns should be all that it takes to actually get rid of this guy. There we go. And then we definitely want your mate to come over here and lick your wounds for you. Oh my gosh, poor Luna. So you were definitely not far enough away from that guy, unfortunately, though at least it didn't go after your babies. That would have been a whole different disaster entirely. So Nightshade should be able to pick up the meat on the next turn. We'll actually move him right over here, and then that'll give her a little bit of a clearer shot toward the jungle. So she can scoot over this way, and then hopefully she can stumble her way toward the healing fruits in her next few turns. She only has 4 days left on her life now after taking all of those injuries, and this is actually the first time that she's been injured too. So she's slipped up a little bit in the jungle, I guess. Though the jungle is a very, very harsh place to live, so I guess she's starting to realize that now. Let's just sniff around though to make sure that there's nothing else in the area. Nothing else spawned out here, right? So far so good. We just have this strange carnivorous plant waiting to munch on our critters, but otherwise we are just fine. So Tidepool, finally you can come over here. Let's actually move him right on this little mud tile. We'll have him go ahead and pick the healing fruit, and now all of his injuries have been healed. So that means that he also has 4 days left on his lifespan, so we could actually bring him back to his tribe so that he can meet his children and hopefully even continue his little family with Wisp. But since he's right on that mud tile, why don't we actually see how this works? That would be particularly a wise decision for him to make anyways, since if he rolls around in the mud a little bit to disguise his scent, then he shouldn't have to worry about maybe leading the apes back to their tribe. That is definitely the main concern right now. So let's go ahead and have him roll around in the mud, and that's going to give him a buff for 3 days that disguises his scent. He has a +3 in odor disguise, and we're definitely going to want to make sure that Wink does the same before he leaves. But first, let's actually have him make his way over here so that he can take a look at the healing fruits for himself. It was his family's mission, or his father's mission rather, to actually find these healing fruits to save his tribe. So you have done your father very, very proud. I'm sure he is very happy watching down on you, little Wink, and he will be much happier as well when you lead Luna over to this one, I think. So we're definitely going to have to make sure that Luna has a bright path to make her way over here faster. So why don't we settle you on this other throne over on this side? Oh my goodness. And that lights up practically the entire side of the jungle, the entire way. So hopefully Luna will be able to see properly. We can have Wink shout directions from high on top of his stump. Now that all of the commotion is over though, we definitely want to take a look at the very final baby. How lucky is it that all of her babies managed to have those beautiful ram horns? And look at hers. I mean, they're all different colors too, which is absolutely gorgeous. But this one, Lanana, managed to inherit a gorgeous pink crown. So for now, we'll just make sure that their father stays very close. He could go ahead and pick up some more of the berries on the bush for us. And then let's have their big sister move over to this side of the nest so that she can pick up some berries too. She actually mutated the velvet paw in place of the nimble fingers, so she can't actually gather up all of these acorns that are around this tree. We are definitely going to want to set up some nimble-fingered creatures to collect all of the acorns though. That is definitely going to be a pretty good source of food. And we also probably want to connect this area with some sort of pathway because again, we want to make sure that we can get from point A to point B in a short amount of turns. That is definitely what is going to save Luna right now. If we didn't have this pathway made for our creatures, then she probably wouldn't have been able to even get to the carnivore to help Wink and Tidepool, so we are very, very lucky. But we're going to have to make sure that we connect these areas. So why don't we actually have Snakeweed on your very last turn? Oh, that is so sad. We'll have you scoot over here and just try to make a little bit more of a pathway toward these creatures. And then we could actually have Tsunami come up here and help you out maybe. I mean, we have this bunny over here again, this little cheeky bunny who is coming back to steal even more of our berries. We are not going to let you do that, little guy. We're going to pick them up for ourselves. We probably also want to have Nuvanu, oh my goodness, pick the berries because it seems like the bunny has already picked this one clean. Not good, Nuvanu. You're slacking on your duties. It does look like Nyx can pick up her second gem though, so we'll change that over to orange. And then why don't we have you go ahead and slice up this nesting material for us? So it seems like she still can't use the throne properly yet, unless maybe we scoot down here and have her come up again on the next turn. Though for that matter, we could have Nuvanu actually keep the throne warm instead because he will still be right in between these two berry bushes. And then we can see just a little bit more of this shoreline just to make sure that nothing is going to jump out and try to attack our creatures. So we'll let Nuvanu sit up there for now. And I believe we should probably have a Cosmo move a little bit closer to his mother because I'm sure he wants to make sure that she's okay at the very least. We'll have him scoot way up here right next to her just to see how she's doing. So he can stay right in between his two parents actually. He can spend a little bit of time with them. Now as much as Comet would like to go too, I think he's a little bit more interested in this berry bush that he just found. So let's go ahead and clear out the grass and then pick some of the berries. And there's our little bunny friend again. Wait a second, can I actually grab you now? There we go. Sandstorm can definitely grab the bunnies, so you picked the wrong tribe to hop into. Now we have one more nest that's not currently in use, so why don't we go ahead and have a little dot swipe up this one as well. There we go, just for that extra material. And then Tsunami can finally actually make her way down here to spend time with her brother. They're going to see if they can find any more shells down here too. We did have one of the shells way over here, right? Let's see, yeah, there it is, way down there. So Storm is still a little bit too young for me to feel safe actually bringing him down to this layer of tiles. So we're going to wait one more day before we allow him to jump down there and see if he can snag those shells before he gets hurt. For now, we can have Wolfsbane go ahead and pick up some of the grass in the area just so that we know that all of these resources are here. And then, of course, you can pick your berries too because we definitely want to pick those before the bunnies do. They are once again becoming a little little bit of a nuisance back here, it looks like. So we're going to have to go bunny hunting very, very shortly, because we definitely don't want this tiny island getting overrun by bunnies too. This place is so small, if we had as many bunnies hopping around as last time, there wouldn't be any room left for our tribes. It looks like that might be all of the turns that we need to make on this day though, so let's go way back here to the jungle again and start leading Queen Luna to her own healing fruit. Unfortunately, this one is a little bit further away, but I think she'll be okay. She does have quite a few days left on her, so as long as she can make her way around the carnivorous plant, then we shouldn't have to worry about her too much. Let's go ahead and skip the day though, and hopefully nothing is going to come out at us. Oh no! Oh, not another carnivore of all the times, really? And right in the middle of all of our babies? Oh, this is not good. This is definitely not good. Cosmo could help out, but he is very, very young, so I'm not sure if that would be a good idea. Like, we might just have to make our babies run as fast as they possibly can. Let's sniff around too to make sure that there's not anything else. Oh no, our very first ape is also out here too, isn't it? That looks like that's the big-nosed ape. So luckily, we do have a lot of creatures with the stinky tail, so fingers crossed that that means that they're actually going to steer clear of our tribes. But we do definitely need to deal with this carnivore. Oh, this is the worst. I mean, a sandstorm, you might actually have to stay behind just to make sure that your babies don't get hurt. We'll have them run as far as they can, but unfortunately, a lot of them are a little bit too young. Nuvon, at the very least, can scoot over this way right into the path that we made, and then I think all that we can do for poor Lanana is move her like right over here into this nest instead. Oh, this is not good. We're going to have a Nair jump in here and block the carnivore's path so that they can't get to this little baby and completely shatter her. And then you are going to have to land as many attacks as possible on this guy. It only has 9 days remaining, so we might actually be able to swarm the carnivore if we do this correctly. Unfortunately, Sandstorm only has a 1 in strength, so he's really not going to do that much damage, but we have to leave him there anyway just to protect the baby. So now we have 6 days left on the carnivore. So if we move Nightshade up here to attack it on his very final day too, oh my gosh, on his very final day as he sends Luna off to find her healing fruit, he's going to sacrifice himself by slapping this carnivore as many times as he can, and now we only have 2 days left on the carnivore, so that means that Cosmo should actually be able to jump in here and slice away at the carnivore. Oh my gosh, so luckily Luna, you don't have to worry too much because your family is very, very strong. Even though this was Nightshade's final day of life, he still managed to contribute by helping to whittle away at that carnivore so it couldn't harm our babies. Though now we do have the ape in the grass out here somewhere, right? Unfortunately, we might be a little bit too far away to actually see it, but I know the ape is in here somewhere, so we are going to have to keep a very close eye on that particular side of the island. Unfortunately, we have Wolfsbane over here, so maybe we want to move you a little bit further away. It was the big-nosed ape though, so it might steer clear anyway because he has a stinky tail, but let's have him scoop up some of the berries and then just scoot down the shore to where Storm is. And Tsunami, you are definitely going to want to follow because you unfortunately do not have the stinky tail. She just has the fishing tail just like Storm, so they could possibly scoot a little bit further into the water anyway. And look at that, the shell actually washed up closer, didn't it? That might be a different shell though. Yeah, it's a different shell, so you could scoot over here and grab this one for us. There we go. That's a little bit less dangerous. We have tons and tons of meat up here now though. Oh my gosh, we are definitely going to have to collect this as soon as possible just in case it lures out any other predators. But right now the main priority is just getting Luna to her own healing fruit, so let's have her scoot around this way and use up as many of her turns as possible to get closer. If she scoots over here, then on the next turn she should be able to make it to the other healing fruit. Hopefully the ape isn't heading this way too though. He is over here, so we are going to have to be very, very careful. Luckily we have this mud, so if we roll in it just like Tidepool did before, then we should be able to evade him. Let's actually have Tidepool scoot up this way, and then Wink can come over here and roll in the mud as well, just to mask his own scent. Thankfully, because of his stinky tail, he had a pretty high stat in odor disguise anyway, so I think he should at the very least be okay evading the big-nosed ape. Tidepool, on the other hand, should definitely start making his way back home, so let's have him scoot around the carnivorous plant just like all of our other creatures have. I mean, I guess we really need to make that pathway as soon as possible. Maybe we could have Comet kind of leave his berry bush. He could come up this way to hopefully create another path for our creatures to use on the next turn. turn. And for now, Tidepool, you'll just have to help him out with your last turn by picking up a little bit of this grass. So there we go. We'll make sure that our pathway goes around the plant as much as possible so we don't have to risk getting picked off by it. Now it looks like you two have a little crabbit visitor. Okay, maybe we could actually take care of this guy. First, you definitely want to pick your berries. Of course, so many crabbits. Oh no, this is not going to be the new bunny invasion, right? The crabbit invasion? I certainly hope not, because these guys are a little bit trickier to take care of since we do actually have to be behind them to attack. So hopefully we're not going to have to deal with too many more crabbits. And for that matter, we can't even move on the tiles that the crabbits are on. So they are definitely a much larger nuisance than the little tiny bunnies. Maybe we should start moving this little family up toward the acorns too to help collect all of this food. Oh my gosh, so much food up here. We'll leave Mist right by this berry bush so that he can collect those. And then Wisp could actually come up here and pick up a few of these acorns for us. There we go, with all of her nimble fingers. And Dot could probably do the same. Since he has the no paw, that would be a pretty good spot for him to be, just collecting all of the acorns while his mother collects the berries instead. So on the next turn, we'll have them switch places, but for now, let's see where that ape is going. Let's see if we can find it anywhere in the grass first of all. I think I did hear something spawn, so let's sniff around and see where it could possibly be. I don't see anything out here actually. Okay, so it's a little bit too far in the grass for us to see it right now. That's probably not a good thing, but let's move Luna a little bit closer to this healing fruit. If we scoot her right here actually, not only is she right on top of the stump so she can see practically everything, but she can also steal this healing fruit and take care of her own wounds. So now she has 5 days left of her life, thank goodness. Thank goodness Queen Luna is going to be okay. But before we start moving her away, let's just see if we can see anything else out here. Oh, there we go. There's another healing fruit. And wait a second, do we have one over here too? Oh my gosh, we have another healing fruit right over here. That would have been so much easier for you guys to get to. I wish we could have seen that before. It must be because Tidepool is close enough to this side of the grass to actually smell it, because he does have the big nose. Oh, that's too bad. Well, it looks like somebody could actually grab this crabbit meat. So Wink, why don't you scoot over here, grab this for us, and then we'll have a Tidepool keep making his way home. We definitely want him to, at the very least, to meet his son. So Comet, if you could help us by making this pathway like you were going to, that is definitely going to be a very, very big help. Let's have Tidepool scoot down here, and then he could make his way straight over to this group since this is where his mate has moved. Comet actually might be able to help his mother get home a little bit faster if he cuts through the swampland right here. So instead of sending him straight home, let's actually do that. Let's have him come up this way and just scoot a little bit closer to the jungle, and we'll have him keep a very watchful eye on this area too. Thankfully, it does seem like the ape went in the opposite direction. I mean, it was very, very close to our tribe, so it could have very easily decided to swoop in and pick off all of our creatures. I am definitely not going to pursue it though, because I don't want to risk letting it know where our tribes are. So I guess we'll just assume that it's in this darkness somewhere. I mean, it's not very comforting knowing that the ape is out there and we can't see it, but we definitely don't want to give away our location. We have a lot of leaves over here, so we're going to have to maneuver Luna very carefully around them. We don't want her to step on any of them either, because that would draw the apes in pretty quickly too. For some of our final turns though, let's go ahead and feast. We can pick up all of the food in the area, gather up all of those lovely points. Our tribes are going to be feasting for a very long time after all of that commotion. We could actually move Lanana right out of the nest now, and look at that, are you talking to your little friend again? Oh my gosh, that is adorable. Little Mist has made yet another bunny friend. But we are all counting on you to pick these berries, so grab those up before the bunny can. Thank you very much. And now if we move these guys out of the way a little bit, we can move Lanana right down here so that she's out of the nest. We could finally get started on our own little families again. Let's move Sandstorm out of the way too, and then Wisp could use this nest right here. And then I believe, yeah, Tidepool has just enough energy to scoot right next to the nest so they can breed again. There we go. So finally, we are getting started on our families once more, and Tidepool can have another child. So in the next episode, we'll have him come down here and meet his very first son, Mist. I'm sure he's feeling very, very fortunate to even have this opportunity after coming so close to the end of his life. And Luna too, for that matter. I mean, she was in a pretty perilous situation herself, though we still need to get her back home. So in the next episode, we'll try to maneuver her around all of these twigs and leaves and bring her back to her own family so that she can help train her little warrior tribe. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!